So I have 2 more questions to create, and then I'll leave the rest for you to do. Age is a number. It's not a long question, so I don't need to copy. I can just type. And here we make it an integer again. And what do we call it? Let's call it Q4 age. Q4 underscore age. And we just type here age, and length, I think 2 digits. 2 digits. Depends on the study. 2 digits in this case will be anything from 0 to 99. And once you hit 100, it becomes 3 digits. All right, 3 digits. Okay, we click 2 digits. We click OK, and that is age. All right, one more question is what is your date of birth? Okay, it's day, month, year format we are using. Now, this pointer is highlighted, and I'm going to click on that. A new day, month, year variable, and I click on that. And the question says, what is your date of birth? And I call it Q5 underscore DOB. You can write in full if you like. It's day, month, year. And I click apply, and I'm happy with that. All right, if I wanted month, day, year, no problem. I can come here and define date variable, day, month, year, month, day, year, year, month, day. All right, I've created 6 fields, 1 heading, and 5 questions. The last thing I want to do before I close the session, this 2B demonstration, part 2B demonstration, is to add a few programs to this questionnaire. Remember, we can add programs, a set of instructions to this questionnaire to customize data entry, to improve efficiency, and to reduce errors. All right, so the very first program I'm going to be adding, is to make the TB patient number required. There are some questions in a questionnaire you think should be made required. In other words, if a participant doesn't have data for that question, they should not be in the study. And you have to be careful not to make everything required. We see that very often. Even this week, a project that I'm managing, the client wanted many things required, and we told the client, be careful, because if they are missing data, logically missing data, then it's hard to capture data for that person. And when they went to the field, there were many logically missing fields, and it was hard for the field workers to capture data. In this instance, if you ask me, sex should be required. The field worker should know the sex of the respondent. Age, it's possible someone doesn't know their age, or unless you ask them to guess. So think about what should be absolutely required. For me, among these 5 questions, it is the TB registered number. If you don't have a TB registered number, there's no way we can be certain that you are a real TB patient. So click on this and double click to edit, and I'm going to click and then come here and click on must enter. That is what I call required. So that's a program to improve the quality. That's one example of a program to improve the quality of data capture. Apply, and now it becomes red, telling you that if you don't capture data into this field, data capture cannot continue. The other kind of program I'm going to be adding to this questionnaire is what we call a range check. Now, for numeric fields, when data capturers capture numbers, they can make a mistake. For example, somebody may want to capture, a data capturer may want to capture somebody's age as 19. He may add an extra 9 and it becomes 199, which is impossible. All right, to avoid such errors, we put a range, we define a range to check what the data capturers are entering. So we call that a range check, and that will be applicable to a variable like age. All right, double click and then come to the range. Here, let's put TB patient. Let's assume our entry requirement or criteria for taking part in the study was that you have to be aged between 16 and above. So let's make the maximum 99. Would a 99-year-old person take part in the study? I'll leave that to you. All right, apply. A range check has been defined for age from 16 to 99. All right, I've created actually 3 kinds of logical of programs. I've added 3 programs into this short questionnaire. I've added legal values, this and that. I've added a range check for age now, and I've made a particular question, TB register number required. When you do your exercise, which I'll be giving to you at the end of this lecture, I will expect you to explore other kinds of programs which you can add to your questionnaire. You know, you can calculate a field from other fields. For example, if someone has given you their height and given you their weight, and you can have a field called BMI, which will be calculated automatically from those 2 variables. In the same vein, you can calculate age from date of birth and from date of interview. Okay, so there's a calculate field, and there are logical jumps, logical checks or logical order, you know, skip patterns, basically. For example, if you have a question that says, do you smoke currently, you know, and the options are no and yes. Now, if someone says no, then logically, the next question that follows, which is related to that question, for example, how many cigarettes do you smoke, should be grayed out. They should disappear for people who say they don't smoke. So they should jump that question and go to the next logical question. But for those who say they smoke, that question should appear. So we call that skip patterns or logical jumps. Epidata can do all of those. I invite you to play with those and put some of those programs into the questionnaire, which you'll be designing as your exercise or assignment at the end of this lecture. So that brings me to the end of part 2B. Have fun, enjoy.